Good morning, everybody. Zero Hour Group Army, HGR investor subscribers. Hope everyone is having a great morning today as we move into Tuesday with our big Safe Pro group demonstration in person with the drone show going on in Miami, Florida. Benny from the show is actually there right now, getting everything situated, getting us some B-roll footage for the show, and that's going to be coming out here probably soon after. We also will probably have some live footage coming in at around 12:30 Central or 1:30 Eastern for the actual SPAI demo stuff. Yeah, he is able to record some things, not able to record other stuff, and then we might be able to get some live footage directly from there to get an update on what's exactly going on. As SPAI, becomes more relevant, as the stock runs, more people hear about it, the volume goes up. It's going to be very interesting, so definitely stay in the loop for that. Otherwise, as the title suggests, stocks opened up today pretty mild just due to NVDA earnings coming up here. The whole market's kind of waiting, holding its breath. Obviously, the largest market cap company in the world has a little bit of sway on stocks, and not a lot happens typically before that. What we do know, though, is that most stocks, beat on earnings this quarter. So I would be surprised if NVIDIA followed that. If they do, we can expect a little bit of a rally, I believe. And if not, probably, a short-term, downtrend. And I expect kind of a larger downtrend over the next couple of months just due to midterms happening. Well, let's just take a look at that. So NVIDIA actually not doing too bad today. Up 1%, though obviously over the last 5 or 6 days, we have seen kind of a consistent downtrend as people potentially hedge for earnings. We had this top out here at around $228, now sitting at $210. I'm assuming NVIDIA is either going to go to around 220 or 200 probably, depending on how earnings is. That should affect the rest of the market too. With drones over here, mainly everything's flat aside from LightPath up 8% today, Amprius up 4.4, Copen up a mild 1.9. We did see some pretty heavy fall-offs last week. Yesterday, due to some pretty strong run-ups a week before. So, yeah, stock market today pretty quiet, at least for what we follow. Based on or anything to do with news, main things are the NVIDIA earnings and, of course, our bigger stream layer today. I was actually thinking of just doing that one as I didn't see too much news, but this is a segment that we want to do, normally. So I thought I'd go live, even though it is just me this morning. If you guys saw anything in the news today, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll probably be looking at, a couple setups here. Probably take a look at, LightPath to see if that got some news, because that's definitely a pretty big outlier, up 8%. Otherwise, everything is pretty quiet. How's everyone doing over on Substack? What do we got? X, Twitter, YouTube. Let's see if anything else went up. You got Resolve going up 23%. CID Holdings up 80%. I'd be surprised if that's some sort of pharmaceutical deal. Yeah, Ondas pinned flat. UMAC up 1%. Let's take a look at LightPath, see what's going on there. Wow, LightPath actually hasn't had any fresh news articles come out for it in over a month. So that just seems to be normal price action. Maybe someone knows something. We do definitely want to get LightPath interviewed. I have connected with Sam Rubin on the back end a little bit, so we are kind of working on getting something for that. But that's going to be, a crazy company in the next couple of years, just due to what's going on with germanium shortages, and germanium replacements. If you don't know what germanium is, that is a rare earth material that's needed for creating like IR cameras. IR cameras are definitely important when it comes to things like drones. As you see a lot of like the ISR stuff, a lot of these drones, they have lenses, glass lenses, stuff, or thermal lenses, things like that require this. And the biggest export of germanium is actually China. And there's definitely some trading restrictions out of China how much they'll send us. Yet the need for it just continues to rise. So it's no surprise that Lightpath, has caught this bid and, over the last year, done very, very well. And we are kind of looking like we might hit the next breakout soon. Still like the trade up to around that $19 mark. If we break out above that, I wouldn't be surprised if we run all the way to like $23. Then after that, probably mid pullback to the 14s. I am waiting for this strong bottom here, as that's been just a consistent level of value over the last, pretty much for all of 2026. If it hits that $9.35 or $9.50 mark, you have a really good trade on your hands. So if you're not in Lightpath yet, I'm kind of waiting. I still think we could trend up, but there has been a little bit of volatility in the interim at around this midpoint between these two touch points. So it's an interesting trade, just not one that I'm taking without having a little bit more information on what's going on. It's been pretty quiet. Yeah, good morning, guys. Everyone else coming in. Hello, Brent, over on Substack. Hope you're doing good, my friend. Very good to see you. Let's see, what else do we have here? I'm just kind of scanning the news right now. I didn't see any, breaking news headlines. I think it's just going to be a little bit of a quiet day due to those NVIDIA earnings. Let's see, anything for Amprius? Amprius has not been catching a bid over the last few months. It was actually the highest performing trade in our index for, let's see, through June, actually. So start of the new year, it was at like 940. This thing went all the way up to 23. It was like a 240% return, came back down, bounced back up, hit a higher high, and then just absolute falling knife, kind of full liquidity sweep down to 850. Caught another bid all the way up. I believe it actually went north of $14 and then came back down. Definitely a trade that I am watching, though I am looking for a little bit more value before I want to hop back on that horse. But Amprius does the drone batteries. Can be very relevant. Their batteries are very good, and I believe they were actually doubling some flight times as well. So definitely a stock I like. I just want to see a little bit more value and a little bit of a healthier chart in the short term before I enter back into that with a new order. LTRX has been quiet too. That is Lantronix. They are comboed with a lot of the drone companies in drone dominance. Looks like news on that's been pretty quiet too. Didn't see anything new for UMAC, which I'm also waiting on, even though they could be one of the guys that gets a investment from the government. I just never, I'm going to bet on that happening. It's a possibility, but I think it's a clear conflict of interest if you know who's on their board. So, yeah, waiting on UMAC a bit. Let's see, anything new on Copen? Doesn't look to be the case. Looks like PUSA, Power Us, catching a little bit, but still pretty flat. Memory is rallying. Man, Memory hit a, what was that? Was that on Monday or was that last? Let's see. Memory got just absolutely blasted. Yeah, it was on Monday. Oh my goodness, and a little bit on Friday too. MU or Micron was about to retest that $1,000 mark and then just rejected extremely hard. We had that huge sell-off for Memory with like SanDisk and Micron falling like 8%. And then, yeah, catching a very strong bid into today, heading all the way back up almost to 950. So pretty strong open there for Memory stocks. Let's see, what about our friend Palantir? Oh, okay. Palantir had a nice little morning into a complete dump. Palantir is one that I still like a lot up to 200, but anything north of that I think is no man's land. It's something that you need to be very careful about, as that's been a strong level of resistance in the past. It's a trade that I'm just not, really wanting to enter any more of. Love it sub 120, but anything over that, especially when there's this massive gap to fill, is something that I don't want to touch until it completes this trend. If we get confirmation of a breakout above that like 200 or 205 mark, then okay, I think we could see maybe 250. But if there's a rejection, this thing is going to come all the way down again and at least fill the gap. Maybe not all the way, but I would think to maybe like 150 or at least 160 to 163, as this has been a key level of resistance, and I think it could potentially turn support if we saw a inversion of the trend. Let's see. Art in the chat getting active. Let's see. Room to boom. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. Exactly. With this one, I'm actually kind of maybe a little bit bullish on NVDA earnings and the rumors going around. I mean, we're up like 8% today, but it's been getting faded pretty strong ever since we had that top at around $227, $230. We've been seeing a slight falling knife with some really bad red days. So I wouldn't be surprised if NVIDIA had a little beat here, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a rally back up to 220 to $225. If that does happen, though, we could see like a rally in large caps, and we could see some liquidity exit small caps. So we'll have to see how that affects our index. But if NVIDIA beats, that's typically going to be good for the market, especially if it's a strong beat. A lot of other companies have beat. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think the market's just going to be pinned the rest of today until we get clear guidance on what's going on with them. They do consistently beat, but the actual levels that they need to beat every time keep getting higher and higher and higher. So eventually they're not going to be able to keep up with that guidance. We'll have to see. Art thinks NVIDIA is definitely going to tap 227. Man, I hope so. I'm not going to bet the house on it, but I definitely wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't mind that at all. Art said, anyone? Oh my God, Art. Love it, Art. Love it. Anyone in VCX? VCX. I am not. What is VCX? Tech Fund? Fundrise Growth Tech Fund. Tech's just been getting, man, beat down the last month or so. But do like my ETFs. For anyone who just joined and is curious, Benny right now is at the Safe Pro Group demo today in Miami. We're going to have a show later with both of us on live from Miami. We're going to potentially see some live tech demo drone footage going on down there. I think it's at one of the golf courses, which will be kind of fun. We just that won't be till I think 12:30 Central, 1:30 Eastern. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, just with the news today, not too much. So might have a couple more things to touch on here, but otherwise, I do want to make sure that you guys know to arrive at that show later today, because that's going to be kind of the big thing, is that Safe Pro Group live in-person demo. We also did, I believe, come out with another segment on the Copen demo as well. I know that was a 3-part series that we put out, so definitely something to watch. Let's see if I can actually maybe put that up too. We can take a look at that. But yeah, otherwise, quiet day. Usually, I like it when there's some some breaking news on Tuesday. A lot of the time, there actually is, where there's some press releases to go over, big things happening, but that is not today. It's relatively quiet, which is kind of not as fun when it's a solo host deal, because we don't have that much to talk about today. Yeah, not even any news in the pipeline for Ondas either. Man, I feel like it's some tumbleweeds going around. Let me see if I can grab the Copen video too, because I do want to show you guys that. Get some actual content, get some conviction going. See if I can pull that. I gotta see if that's even on our YouTube. Might not be on our YouTube yet. All right. But yeah, what do you guys have for me? Any comments, questions, anything? I know X and YouTube has been pretty quiet in the comment section. Appreciate Art over there asking a few things. Art says this is about the time Ondas releases some crazy news. We'll have to see on that. I mean, if they do, I'm really hoping it's out of Europe. We know Europe is, it's a very large TAM over there. A lot of potential clients. I mean, I think it was near like $4 billion in potential contracts they're pursuing over there over the next 2 years. So I really want to see some increases in onberg revenue, and then whatever is going on in the South Pacific, because that like hopped up a bunch too. Also see what they're doing with that bat drone out of Israel, and also I want to see some U.S. contracts. Right? I mean, we acquired Mistral. Mistral is that defense prime contractor. I want to see them start, making their money, right? Making their money's worth, getting us new contracts here, maybe with some domestic infrastructure on counter UAS. I have a break above 922. Hopefully 932 was SMA for a while. Yeah, I mean, it's been pinned. We're talking about Honda still. It's going to continue to be pinned most likely unless that short interest comes down. The short interest is still absolutely ridiculous, above like 40%. And barring any crazy news like, oh, they're getting acquired by this or they have $1 billion contract over here, I don't expect any sort of like short squeeze, but just hopefully a healthy move up and a drop of that short interest over time. But that short interest is going to absolutely pin the price down and cause some issues in the short term for sure. This nice little uptrend, though, since July is still intact, though I am a little worried about this hammer down that we saw here. That was pretty extreme. So that was, I believe, just during the earnings, and the earnings weren't even bad. So that's kind of the funny thing. But it's been definitely seeing a pretty consistent downtrend since earnings. So yeah, the long-term time frame trend is still intact, though. But we are at kind of a key inflection point here. If this breaks down, we fall below this line. I mean, we could see 650s again, right? We'll have to see, though. We'll have to wait and see. Art says some people say they're going back to six. Doesn't math out to me. I mean, it just depends, right? We've had a lot of good news, a lot of good catalysts. It dipped, it still dipped to like 650 before. Currently, we are in this nice uptrend. Obviously, there's a lot of buying pressure right here, like in this 750 zone. There's a lot of open interest below 8, so there will be strong support at those levels. But we do want to see, a continuation of the trend. If we break down below and we fail like a retest of this kind of gap here around $8, we could definitely go lower. So right now I'm just, holding, and I'm looking to, go heavy on cash secured puts if we touch that like 7 to like 650 zone again, right? Because then I want more value. I know if it goes there, we can ride it up to 12 pretty easily, 100% return on those, and definitely swing it. So yeah, I'm kind of holding my breath right now, waiting until we either go lower or we go higher, and then I can work on covering the shares because I already have a position I like, but I wouldn't mind adding more at $6 to $7. I missed that comment. I'll rub crystal ball for robotics on their end. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, if NVIDIA gives us some crazy guidance on robotics, don't be surprised if, yeah, that moves for sure. That will be fun. So I just heard that we got a bunch of B-roll footage from the Safe Pro Group event this morning. So that's just in some breaking news there. We're going to be getting that ready to go and then produced and sent out to you guys. Unfortunately, we weren't able to film the little discussion, but we'll get the live scoop from Benny on that. However, we are able to film the actual outside demonstration with the drones flying around, detecting stuff using SPIA software. You guys are going to absolutely love that. It's going to be very cool. And I'm going to see if Benny can actually do that and give that to us live. Hopefully, it's not too loud. We'll have to see. It could definitely be pretty noisy. We might have to buffer the mics, but yeah, going to be very exciting. Happening in a little bit more than I believe 2 hours here. It'll either be kind of at 12:30 Central, 1 Central. I'm going to contact Benny and get you guys the exact time. We'll put out a little notice of when we're going live for that event. I appreciate all you guys here that are with us. We got about 50 people on right now, which makes sense, right? Because it's kind of a quiet news day. I mean, I feel like I'm running out of stuff to talk about. In the last 0 hours today, I think I rambled on for almost an hour. It's just a quiet day. Quiet day for now. All right, what else do we got here? I'm kind of curious. So I have LightPath up right now. Yeah, I'm very curious what's going on with LightPath today. I mean, everything else. I mean, wow, a lot of things are actually down as well. I mean, a lot of things kind of gravitating around that equilibrium, but LightPath is a clear outlier on no news. I wonder if someone knows something behind the scenes or what's going on with that. You'll probably see some pretty heavy resistance around 15. Yeah, looks like 1550 was a pretty strong rejection point a couple weeks ago. Though, wow, catching a bit at 1250. For me, it's still I gotta wait if I'm not in, just because I think this is too strong of a level to ignore. Art says Black Sky PT for me is 65 to 95, trailing 12. Black Sky, isn't Black Sky like way lower than that right now? Wow. I mean, just looking at the chart here, it's looking a little scary just in the short term. Looking a bit scary here, also with a lot of kind of strong selling volume coming in. Curious, what do you like about Black Sky so much that you're expecting a 65 to 95 price target? I mean, that would be amazing. I know we covered this one in the past. I think Benny likes it because I know we've touched on it. I like it here a lot at this 1827 mark that we had already marked out on the chart, just because every time it's tapped into there recently, oh my goodness, I mean it's absolutely exploded. We almost got there actually back in late July, hitting about $20 and then rocketed up all the way to 30. I think if this thing hits that 18 mark, at least on the technical side of things, it's an absolute rocket ship, right? That could be an easy 2x on the money for sure. You think it'll value out heavy like Palantir did in Rocket Lab? You should send like a longer message or DM on why. I'd love to hear your analysis on it. Maybe we'll make it into an article if we like it enough. That'd be really cool. I love it, Aaron. Could go through the Roth report on Ondas. Could also talk about RDW, just touching on the chart. Love it. Yeah, we can look at RDW quick. Yeah, didn't Ondas just started getting covered by Roth, right? I believe Roth started covering them, and then throughout oh, that's from a mentorship session. Let's get that out of here. A lot of squiggly lines. Yeah, I mean RDW is one that I like a lot. Space is going nowhere. Bullish on what is going on here, man? Bullish on Rocket Lab. Bullish on I don't know what's going on with my cursor. It's my bad. Bullish on Rocket Lab, bullish on ASTS, bullish on RDW. Not bullish on SpaceX until maybe we see like $70, and then I'll flip bullish potentially there. Just even with the valuations being crazy, SpaceX probably will do well in the next 10 years. RDW though, I am looking for further pullback on this one. Right now we capped at like about $14. I want to see about 9. I think this is going to go back to 9, and then we're going to get a nice pop again. Will it be a 2x pop? Probably not, but it could definitely be 50, 60%. Right now, the name of the game is patience, right? Patience pays right now. There's a ton of stocks I like, but they haven't reached my setup, right? So like UMAC, love UMAC, but not here. I want to see it touch between like $17 and $20. Maybe it goes 15, but I think like 17 is really going to be that buy target for UMAC. Like Ondas, I want to see like $6.50, $7 before I get in on that. SPAI, absolute crazy run. We caught that run. I do want to see it pull back if I want to get a reentry. Lightpath as well. Definitely want to see a dip sub 10 to get back in there. Amprius is a setup that I think could work right now. I want to see a bit more value, but anything sub $10 on Amprius, which we're kind of right there, I like for some more aggressive long-term cash secured puts. Copen, I think definitely want to see that sub 4 to get back in there. So kind of a broken record there. What I want to see is some further pullbacks on stuff. There's a lot of things sitting like mid-range limbo right now that I just don't want to buy. I'm happy with the position I have, and I'll either ride it up, sell some covered calls, or if it comes back down, add a little more to the position. Just not get greedy and not chase green days, right? We buy on those red days or buy on those red trends. Wait for long-term support. Let's see. I'm looking for that. I got the Roth article, but I have the synopsis. I'm gonna see if I can actually get their report. Yeah, because they see like 44% upside. What they have? They had like a 13 price target. Yeah, 13 price target's actually one of the lower ones I saw. But the funny thing is, even with that one being so much lower than like the $20 average, that's still like over 40% upside from here. It's such a broken record, you know. I mean, on this, it's either we're going to have some crazy event where it's government investment, $1 billion deal. Um, Really, those two things I think would be the only thing that would, or acquisition, I guess. I just don't see them being acquired by anyone. They have too many subsidiaries. There's just too much going on with the company that I don't think an acquisition would work. But if we saw one of those three things, you have your potential for like your short squeeze, right? Where the short interest is ridiculous, but there's going to be so much bullish volume coming in that it could cause some sort of like powder keg. But I really want to just see healthy price action. I want to see short interest come down and just a move up now that we have strong like financial fundamentals. And I mean, the guidance is just absolutely ridiculous. They're pursuing 11 billion in contracts over the next 2 years with a market cap that's sitting at like 4.5. So they're pursuing over double their market cap over the next 2 years. So the financial story is now kind of starting to support the actual stock, where before it was just guidance alone. They're definitely starting to stack on that revenue, and they've acquired some good companies. But yeah, Roth is seeing 44% upside. A couple other ones are around like 20. I know our friends over at Needham Group are, I think they're guiding like 19 or 1950. I know I think they were at like 21, 22, but then we had that dilution event that brought it down a little bit, which makes sense with adjusted valuations. And that's my big thing with Ondas right now is I just don't want to see any more dilution. I want them to use a little bit of the cash position. I just want them to stay away from dilutive capital for the time being, work these contracts, work these agreements, and then just start building back some like good faith with investors. Not that I don't think they're doing that. I think Eric's got a very clear view of what he wants to do with the company, but of course, long-term shareholders, we can't be too mad. If we got in sub $1, when we called it out, we're still very, very happy. But for those guys that got in at like $10 that see that vision, they're probably having a little bit of a rough time right now, where it's been definitely beaten down. And there's been quite a little bit of dilution, and I would like to see that calm down, or at least. All right, should be working. So what I was saying was they have a great cash position. It gives them flexibility. I understand why they want to keep that, because they might need to pivot. A lot of these companies are going to fail because they don't have that balance sheet, that capital on hand to actually execute on orders. So it makes complete sense why they're doing it. But I'm hoping eventually we do see them start to convert some of that cash position into either orders, parts, something, right? Because they're just sitting on that war chest, but the war chest isn't being used. It's more just share dilution. So I do want to see that calm down a bit before I just think we need that good faith back, right? We need that good faith. That also should bring down short interest if we see dilution stop or at least halt. I think that's going to be important for Ondas moving up, at least on the technical side of things. Love it, Aaron. Aaron said over on X, so long as they acquire accredited companies, I'm cool with using stock. We need these acquired companies having skin in the game. Also proves the acquired owners believe future share price to be worth more than cash today. Yes, retain / preserve capital for working capital. No, absolutely agree on that. I mean, every single company that they picked up so far, I thought was very good, especially Centrix, Design, some of the software companies, Worldview. I mean, they all make sense and they all add to the system of systems approach and then the multi-domain approaches. It all makes sense. And yes, it's actually kind of bullish that they do. Well, I guess we don't know, if they want cash or shares behind closed doors, but we can kind of assume that. I mean, they're obviously taking the shares. They wouldn't mind the shares. They see this being a very good opportunity moving forward. So that is bullish. It's just like, institutions, price getting pulled down, suppressed, short interest going up, like anything like dilution is going to increase that. So yeah, I see both sides, right? I see both sides. I don't mind it because I kind of understand what the long-term vision is, but it makes sense why it's seeing, difficulty in the short term. Also the fact, I mean, it's moved up hundreds of percent in a year. So there was some sort of accumulation phase that was needed, and that band appears to be between that $14 and $650 mark for now. So definitely hoping we see double digits again soon. Love the company, love leadership, and what they're doing is they're being very aggressive to kind of take over that market. There's only going to be a couple winners. They want to be one of the winners, so they got to do what they're doing now to actually achieve that, and that will become clear, in a couple of years here. But we'll see. All right, Aaron, appreciate the questions from you, and also Art over on Substack. We'll be going for about 33 minutes here. I think just because the news is a little quiet today, we're going to cut it there. But we do have the big stream later today, right? So that's going to be live from Miami, the Safe Pro Group, ticker SPAI, live demo outside. We're going to see some drones in action. Their AI software in those drones doing stuff, maybe detecting some threats. We don't have the exact details of what the demo is actually going to be, but I'm expecting it to be very, very cool. So make sure you guys are there. I'll definitely be putting out notifications on Substack and X for when we're going to go live. So you'll get a notification when the stream's going up. That's going to be me and Benny, and Benny's going to be live from Miami at that tour. This was a private event, right? So no one could get it. I mean, no one could get in. 0 Hour Group is the only group of its kind that's getting into these events. I mean, you can't just walk in. It's only institutions and like private large investors. And then you got 0 Hour Group, right? So we're the only group of its kind. We're not really a PR firm, but I guess maybe we kind of are. I don't know. We just like covering these stocks for you guys. It's our hobby, and hopefully it's our jobs one day too. So we love doing it. We are the only group doing it, and this is the only spot that you're going to be able to find information like that, right? No one else is getting into these events. We're starting to, know people, and I think these events and things we get into are just going to keep getting cooler and cooler. We're also going to be hopefully flying some of these drones soon for you guys, for some of these companies as we continue our licensing and stuff for the drones. So it's going to be very, very exciting. Aaron asked what time. So it should be around 12:30 Central or 1:30 EST. The demo happens, I think, 1 CST or 2 EST to 3. Benny's going to have a section where you can come out and talk, and then I'm going to see if we can, get him to record some of that stuff live. I know that we can record the outside footage, but if we can do it live, I am a little bit unsure of. So I'll let you know, but we should be going live about 12:30 Central, 1:30 EST. And I will put out a message on Twitter on the 0 Hour Group X and the HGRX, as well as on Substack for both, of when exactly we're going to go live so that you know. So watch out for just our tweets here in the next like 2 hours. Okay, guys? And hey, Art, thank you. Appreciate you. Art saying we're killing it. I'll see you guys soon, bro. Thanks for the updates. Of course, man. I appreciate you guys coming out here and just kind of hanging out for this quiet news day. It's been a while. I feel like every day has been, every 0 hour today has been crazy. We've had a bunch of stuff going on, but it's kind of nice to just wait back, chill, and kind of the calm before the storm before we actually move into NVIDIA earnings and the market getting shaken up and everything that's going to happen tomorrow. But of course, today, I mean, this is going to be a very cool event. Very excited, and we have something coming up, in October in Washington D.C. that you guys might see us at. So if you're going to any big, Army events in Washington D.C., not going to say specifically what, in October, you'll see us there. Come over, hang out. Hopefully, we'll have some 0 hour hats to give you guys, and yeah, I will see you guys in about 2 hours here for the main course of the day with the SPAI demo live from Miami. Thank you, Brent. All right, guys, you have a great rest of your day, and see you in a few. We got some exciting stuff. All right, see you soon.